In the heart of a bustling village where the warm sun kissed the earth and the sound of children's laughter echoed in the streets, Amina, an 18-year-old woman with a vibrant spirit, lived a life filled with dreams and curiosity. Her eyes shone with the untainted innocence of youth, yet they held an intensity that spoke of her hunger for knowledge, adventure, and love. Her life, however, took an unexpected turn when she met Kwame, an 80-year-old man, one of the elders in the village, known for his wisdom and the stories he told under the shade of the ancient baobab tree. Kwame had seen the rise and fall of many things, tribes, kings, empires, yet he had always lived alone, his heart heavy with the loss of a love from his younger days. His hair was a silver crown, his skin weathered by years under the sun, but his eyes still sparkled with life. It was a cool evening when Amina, having just returned from school, wandered near the baobab tree. She had heard stories of Kwame's wisdom, but had never spoken to him directly. But that evening, as if by fate, their paths crossed. She greeted him shyly, and he smiled, inviting her to sit by his side.
"Tell me, child,"
Kwame said, his voice deep and comforting. "What dreams does the wind carry to you?" Amina hesitated at first, but then found herself pouring her heart out about her desires to travel, to study, and to understand the world beyond her village. Kwame listened intently, offering gentle words of encouragement, as if he understood the longing in her soul. Their conversation continued every day after that, and with each passing moment, Amina felt an unspoken connection growing between them. Kwame, though much older, seemed to understand her better than anyone else. He spoke of love, loss, and the beauty of life with a clarity that made her feel seen. Amina found herself enchanted by the man who, despite his age, possessed a youthful spirit. Kwame, in turn, felt a warmth in his chest he hadn't felt in years. They would sit together in the evenings, their hearts quietly bonding over stories of the past and dreams of the future. Amina began to see past the wrinkles of his skin and the years between them. What mattered was the connection they shared. But as their relationship blossomed, whispers began to spread through the village. A young woman, so full of life, with an old man, they would say, shaking their heads in disapproval. When Amina's family learned of the relationship, they were horrified. A mother, stern and practical, could not fathom why her daughter would choose to marry a man so old, someone who, in her eyes, would not be able to provide for Amina's future, nor offer her the youth and vitality of a true partner. Her father, too, voiced his displeasure.
"Amina, do you not see? This man is past his prime. He will not be there for you when you need him most," her father argued one night, his voice trembling with concern. "You must choose someone of your own age, someone who can share a future with you," said the father, while her mother was angry.
But Amina's heart was firm. She loved Kwame, and her love was not bound by age or societal expectations. She saw in him a depth that transcended time, a kind of love that felt timeless. "I know my heart, mother," Amina said quietly. "Kwame may be old in years, but his heart is young. He gives me something no one else can: wisdom, love, and understanding. I do not need anyone's permission to follow my heart." Days turned into weeks, and the pressure from her family grew heavier. They refused to speak to her, hoping she would come to her senses. But Amina, determined to live her truth, made a choice. She would marry Kwame, not because he was the right choice for anyone else, but because he was the one who made her heart sing. On the day of the wedding, the village gathered, some with faces of curiosity, others with frowns of disbelief. Amina wore a simple but beautiful dress, her smile radiant and her eyes filled with a quiet resolve. Kwame, though frail with age, stood proud beside her, his hand strong in hers. As they exchanged vows, the sky seemed to hold its breath, the world around them pausing for a moment of pure, unspoken understanding. They were not bound by the expectations of others, nor by the years between them. They were bound by something far more powerful: love. Her family did not attend the wedding. The elders frowned upon the union, and many whispered behind closed doors. But Amina knew that love, the kind of love she shared with Kwame, could not be confined by time or the opinions of others. Years passed, and though Kwame grew frailer with age, his love for Amina never wavered. They continued to sit together under the baobab tree, sharing stories and dreams, defying the judgment of those who never understood. And as Kwame's time eventually came, Amina held his hand, grateful for the love they had shared, a love that was her truth and hers alone to define. In the end, Amina lived her life not in the shadow of what others expected, but in the light of a love that transcended time itself.